Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. Area legislators give updates on where things stand in the General Assembly in 2022. Trash talk at the Colonial Heights City Council meeting. Hopewell industry unites against machinery and tools tax hikes. And 3 Petersburg seniors signed to play college ball this fall. We'll be back with those stories in a moment.
Downtown Thunder is back. The largest bike and cruising event in the region. The hottest bands, the coolest cars, and of course, the baddest bikes around. The most exciting 5 months of the year, May through September. Don't miss out. This year's lineup features The Code, Buckshot, Crunch, Lost in the Shuffle, and 11 to 1. So catch a ride and join us for Thunder.
My favorite thing about my job is I get to walk through the doors and see the residents smiling and happy, ready for the day to see what kind of activities we have going on. My name is Rachel Barefoot, and I'm the activities director here at Dunlop House. We do things like physical exercise, fun arts and crafts. Working with seniors is great because I like to be able to make their golden years the best they've ever had. No matter what's going on, the residents' health and well-being is our top priority.
Dunlop House, more than a house, it's home.
Welcome back to the LNN studio. First, let's take a look at national and state news. A federal judge has dismissed the lawsuit that 3 residents of the Disney World area brought against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and 2 other Florida officials last week, according to a report by the Epic Times. The lawsuit followed Governor DeSantis' signing of a bill that eliminated special tax districts in Florida, including Reedy Creek Improvement District, the special district that Disney directly controls. The judge, Cecilia Altanaga, cited multiple reasons for dismissing the suit, such as the fact that the new law didn't actually apply to or impact the 3 plaintiffs. Other reasons included that the law wasn't actually in effect yet, and because the issue was a state-level issue that the federal court had no jurisdiction over. On Monday, May 9th, the first case against an illegal immigrant for trespassing on private land came to a close. The result? The defendant was found guilty and sentenced to 1 year in jail, according to the Epic Times. He does not have to pay fines associated with the charges, but he will be required to pay court costs. Operation Lone Star is Governor Greg Abbott's effort to reduce illegal border crossings from Mexico into Texas. State officials took on that responsibility as the federal government failed to take action to curb the influx of illegal aliens. Part of Operation Lone Star is the directive from Governor Abbott to Texas State Police to arrest those caught trespassing, whether on private land, as in this particular case, or on state-owned land. The lawyer for the defendant reportedly told the jury that a guilty verdict would not stem the tide of illegal immigration. LNN recently spoke with 5 state legislators that represent the Tri-Cities area. The delegates and senator recapped the recent 2022 General Assembly session and also addressed the lack of a settled state budget.
We are here with Senator Frank Ruff. Senator, we just recently got out of session. What do you feel were the major accomplishments in session this year?
The biggest accomplishment is that we didn't go any farther back. The last 2 years, we have made great strides in reverse. We've done damage to public safety. We've done damage to economic development. This year, with a split between the House and the Senate, most of the bad stuff got killed. We didn't get as much positive stuff as we would like, but at least now, with the new governor, we're focused on economic development.
So your biggest key going through there is going to be making Virginia open for business as easy as possible?
Exactly.
We're here with Delegate Kim Taylor. What do you feel like you accomplished or got done during the session?
Well, I was really excited that the governor signed my bill, HB 1129, which called for a school safety audit to be presented to police without them having to request it. Hopefully soon we'll be going back to vote on the budget. And so, my goal is really economic development here in the 63rd.
We're with Delegate Mike Cherry. We just got out of session. What did you get accomplished during session? What did you feel like you had some wins on?
The biggest thing that I think we as Republicans got accomplished this session was on the education front. As we came into the 2021 election season, education, parental involvement in education, and those things, that became the pivotal issue for most of our campaigns. We were able to get through an incredible bill through Delegate Coiner. It's called the Literacy Act. We just signed that into law this past week with the governor. Right now, we're just fighting over funding. Like we don't have a budget yet. We're now sitting in the first week of May, and the Democrats refuse to come to the table and talk about the budget. So it's a real problem. We don't want to see it push into June. We're ready to get this done.
We're here with our delegate, Carrie Corner. Can you tell me a little bit of what you accomplished, and then we'll go into some things you'd still like to get done?
Sure. Well, two big areas that I was able to do a lot of work in. One is public education. The other is helping individuals who are on the road to recovery from substance use disorders. So in public education, we were able to pass the largest literacy bill ever in the history of Virginia. So to shift our pre-K through third grade literacy instruction to scientifically based reading research, we're going to see huge improvements in reading scores long term from that bill. It's two parts. So the first part of the bill is core instruction. We are going to guarantee that every classroom teacher in our youngest grade levels have the professional development and knowledge of how our brains learn how to read, and which hopefully will reduce the number of kids who are behind in reading and need those additional supports. And so then, yes, the second part would be those students who need additional help will be able to receive it. There's a lot of work left to do around supporting individuals in our community with substance use disorders. I had a bill this year to really help provide better housing for individuals who need a safe, clean place to live. And we made a little bit of progress, but there's more left to be done. The disease of addiction impacts almost every family in the Commonwealth, and so we tend not to talk about it, but it's an important thing that we discuss and that we help support people who are on that journey of recovery. So still more work to do in that area.
We are here with Delegate Emily Bruner. Can you tell me a little bit about the session this year and what do you think you've got accomplished?
This year we were able to achieve a couple things. I carried several pieces of legislation. One of the things I was most proud of, human trafficking has been a scourge in our Commonwealth for quite some time. We have a major interstate corridor. We have a lot of traffic through this part of the state. And so I carried a bill this year to make sure that we're doing required training for law enforcement to make sure they know the signs. So that way, we can attempt to really rescue and assist people that, they just might meet in passing or something might seem suspicious. A couple other things I worked on this year is a public trades incentive fund. Oftentimes, not every child is going to go to college, and that's okay. And so I worked in legislation this year to make sure that our local schools can go after grant dollars to be able to start a welding program, start any CTE programs. Having programs like that can really empower localities to offer a trade that we can put young people directly in the workforce was, I think, a huge accomplishment as well. I'll tell you where we're at right now. I'm on the Appropriations Committee this year. I'm one of the assigned budget conferees, and we have divided government. We have a Democratic Senate and a Republican House, and we still don't have a budget. And so right now we're at a bit of a standstill. And so we're hoping in the very near future we can get the Senate Democrats to sit down and come to the table with us and talk about maybe how we're going to resolve this budget.
We're here with Delegate Otto Waxman. Delegate, what was the big accomplishments you think we hit in the session this year?
I put in 4 bills. I was successful in getting 3 of those passed. One of them was the town of Ivor approached me about they wanted golf carts. And there's a rule in Virginia that if you don't have a town, you have to get a special exemption from the General Assembly to have golf carts. And we were successful in that. Another one we did House Bill 205, and that really was one of the very few election integrity bills that came through.
Okay, and the third bill?
It was a bill that the Rural Healthcare Association asked me to put in.
For more on these stories and more, check out the LNN Insider. Subscribe by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page. We'll be back with local news after this.
Hourglass Realty Group.
Opening the door to your next journey.
This is my second time going to Escape Old Town. Had a great time in the escape room. Lots of fun. Puzzles a little challenging, but it makes you really work for it. You feel a lot more accomplished when it's done.
Welcome back. Let's turn now to local news. Colonial Heights City Council was left in a difficult position on Tuesday, May 10th. They were voting on a waste management contract that was already signed. Colonial Heights is a member of the Central Virginia Waste Management Authority, who serves as a broker of sorts for multiple municipalities in Central Virginia. And while the CVWMA has the authority to execute contracts for the group of municipalities, city representatives expressed frustration with the short timing between consulting council and ultimately signing a contract before issues Colonial Heights voiced were fully addressed. Councilor John Petrosky, who voted no on the contract, explained his frustration and concerns.
They reported to us, I believe it was last meeting, that they are awarding the contract to Waste Management, and I had concerns about the service. I'm not very happy how things were handled here on this.
Since the contract's already signed, what are the options here for the city?
There's no options, and that's what I'm frustrated about.
CVMWA administers the contract with Waste Management. The City of Colonial Heights and other municipalities, including Hopewell and Petersburg, then sign service agreements with CVMWA. The current setup allows for the company to leverage collective bargaining with vendors by using the volume of multiple municipalities to secure better rates for each individual city. The new contract has an estimated projected monthly cost of $18.50 per month. While the contract is decided by the CVWMA, the council still must vote on the final monthly cost to the residents. Currently, residents pay $14.40 per month, but new proposals from the existing service company would have required similar increases for the coming contract cycle. The new agreement also establishes a maximum 3% annual increase from Waste Management. The new contract is expected to be in place on July 1st of 2022. Hopewell City Council held a public hearing on a proposed increase to the city's machinery and tools tax on Tuesday, May 10th. The tax, which generally impacts businesses rather than residents, hasn't been raised since 2003.
So, as you know, I am Andy Gervin, the plant manager at Advanced 6, and was here last public hearing. Today I'm speaking on behalf of the Hopewell Manufacturers Association. With me tonight I have Advanced 6, Ashland, Evonik, West Rock, and Hopewell Cogeneration. The organization represents employees across multiple wards. Our coalition represents over 1,400 direct employees working in the city of Hopewell. Our coalition generally opposes an increase in machinery and tool tax. However, we understand the need for the city to balance the full year 22-23 budget, as fiscal responsibility is core to strong government as well as strong business. Lastly, we would like to acknowledge the status of the city financial audits and their impacts on the budget. Our organizations and member companies are prepared to support the city with resources to expedite those audits. If we can help, please let us know. Thank you.
I was willing to do 5 cents and 5 cents only. We have not done a tax increase for the plants that are here since 2003. And so I'm going to, tonight or Thursday, vote the same way.
I have expressed my opposition to any tax increase in the machine and tool tax. They're bringing jobs to our city. And to me, that's more important than a 5-cent addition in the machine and tool tax.
You do bring jobs in, you do bring people in, but you haven't had an increase since 2003. Really pennies compared to what y'all deal out every day on an operational basis. So, but we have a second loyalty to our citizens, and they have to pay as well. And they work minimum wage. They don't all work in your plants. They work in Dollar General, they work in the grocery store. You gotta balance the loyalty toward the business, commercial, as well as your citizens.
The council ultimately decided to delay the vote on the machinery and tools tax until a special council meeting on Thursday, May 12th. The City of Petersburg's Economic Development Authority is proposing a change to the city's designated enterprise zone. The Enterprise Zone program is a statewide program that allows localities to designate a certain number of acres as their enterprise zone in order to offer both state and local incentives, with the goal of drawing in businesses to that area. Now the city's EDA wants to redraw portions of the enterprise zone to include less residential area and more business and industry-centered areas, including the Route 36 corridor near Puddle Dock Road and portions of Washington Street closer to Dinwiddie, where some manufacturers are currently located. Residents whose homes are currently located in Petersburg's enterprise zone received a postcard in the mail announcing the proposed changes, as well as an informational meeting where they could learn more and ask any questions they had about the change. Since enterprise zone incentives are not available to homeowners in the zone and are geared towards business owners instead, the change would have no impact on residents of the area unless they are also a business owner with a business in the zone that meets the qualifications for incentives. Anyone with questions about how their home's removal from the enterprise zone will impact them is encouraged to contact the Petersburg Department of Economic Development. We'll be back with more local news in a moment.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, hemp-based products, vape nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elba.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elba.
We're chiropractors, and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us, Chester Family Chiropractic Center.
Welcome back. Citizens of Colonial Heights recently took to social media to voice their concerns about a new fee being charged by the city for credit card payment of utility and tax bills. But the credit card fee isn't entirely new, explained City Manager Doug Smith.
It would apply to payments to the city for things such as your utility bills, other payments to the city, not including recreation and parks transactions, which have a separately classified fee for those. Previously, there had been a credit card fee, but it did not apply to transactions at the counter. During COVID, we suspended the fee anyway, so that was obviously given the opportunity more for payments happening remotely and helping to facilitate that. Obviously advisable during the pandemic highest levels. So at this point now, we're treating both the in-person payment and then also the electronic payment the same with the credit card fee. So treating both sets of customers the same and helping to cover the costs that the city would incur for those types of fees. Now, it's important to note that we do not charge a fee for e-check transactions, so that there is or your regular check transactions as well. So there's still opportunities to make a payment without having to incur a fee.
The city of Hopewell has selected a new fire chief. LNN's Chai Gallahan spoke with the chief about his new position.
This is Chai Gallahan with LNNusa.com, and we are here in Hopewell with the newly crescent fire chief, Benjamin or Ben Rupert. You didn't just walk in from somewhere else. You actually have been with Hopewell for quite a while. How long have you been with Hopewell?
Yes, sir. So I started in 2001, and I've worked as a paramedic firefighter. And then I moved into emergency management. I served the city as the emergency manager. Absolutely love this area and very proud to get to serve the city of Hopewell here in Central Virginia.
What are some of the strengths of your department that you're walking into?
Well, first I'd have to say I have a great group of people. I have a great group of men and women that work in this department, and they are absolutely on fire and literally on fire.
On fire.
Maybe not literally, but certainly in the sense of just out there getting the job done. And so I think that's one of our biggest strengths is the people that we have that are dedicated to this department, dedicated to the community, and to serving our customers.
It sounds like they have a burning passion.
Absolutely.
For the job.
Absolutely, they really do. They really do.
Now, what are some of the challenges faced by the fire department, as are faced by many departments across the state and country?
Right, absolutely. So one of the big ones is personnel, attracting people. We still have 4 open positions in medic firefighters. And so trying to fill those, trying to get to full staffing. As always, funding.
Yes.
Funding is always a big challenge. We've got a lot of needs as far as we need a new ladder truck. Obviously, budgets are tight.
What is one of the biggest challenges in Hopewell regarding putting out fires? Are there more fires than usual? Is it average? Has it changed much since the pandemic?
It's funny, the first year in 2020, our call volume actually went down. I think they were afraid of those firefighters that are on the ambulance every day carrying the sick people to the hospital.
So let's be extra careful.
Yeah. Right. So our call volume went down, but it is quickly gone right back to the place where it was. We're well over
Pre-pandemic.
5,000 calls in 2021. And we're on track to surpass that this year as well. Again, our biggest challenges right now, our ladder truck is what we call a stick ladder.
Yes.
Doesn't have a platform. We try to rescue them with a stick ladder.
Oh boy.
Trying to get them out a window and down a ladder. Obviously you can see the challenges that would be associated with that. And so we're trying to get a ladder that has a bucket where we can actually pull them out, put them on the bucket, and then go down to the ground with them. And we have, personnel challenges. That building, according to the NFPA standard, we should have 28 people showing up to that fire.
Yes.
Our minimum staffing on a regular day is 13.
13.
So you can imagine now a piece of apparatus that is even more personnel intensive.
Yes.
And we have less people to start with, so we're behind already when we get there. And so obviously you can see why we're really looking for some funding to fund that piece of apparatus, because that will help that gap that we have between what we should have and what we do have. Get your smoke detectors, install them. We actually just had a fire last night where a gentleman had a fire in the room he was sleeping in. He happened to wake up, but he was blessed that he did, because he had no fire alarms. He had no smoke detectors. He's just blessed to be alive this morning.
Yes.
So install your smoke detectors. And by the way, we actually have a program where we'll come out and install them for you. You just have to call the fire department, and we'll actually set up an appointment, come out and install a smoke detector in your house free of charge.
Make a smoke detector house call. He doesn't get much better than that, Chief.
That's what we are all about, keeping people safe, and that's the city's motto is Semper Paratus, which is always ready.
Yes.
And that's our goal as the fire department, is to always be ready. For our citizens, we know that people call us a lot of times on their worst day.
Yes.
And so we want to be that person, the people that can stand in the gap between that emergency and them, and try to make that day better. That's our goal every single day, and I'm really proud of all the folks that work here in this department that work towards that goal every day.
This is Chai Gallahan with LNNusa.com.
The Petersburg Area Art League has done what the city and state could not: open a casino in Petersburg. Well, sort of. PAL celebrated its 90th anniversary with a Derby Day party and casino gaming night. Guests attended the event in traditional Derby Day attire, including summer dresses, derby hats, and tuxedos. After enjoying a televised running of the Derby, where Rich Strike and 80-1 long shot upset the field, attendees moved on to the gambling tables. The plan for the evening, according to PAL President Victoria Revilla, was simple.
Tonight is to have a good time and celebrate the fact that PAL has been in existence for 90 years.
The evening included an art auction to raise money for the continued operation of PAL. PAL has been a continuous source for the advancement of the arts in the region. The organization provides instructional classes for dance, Friday for the Arts every second Friday of the month, exposing the public to exhibits of artists and highlighting musicians, children's summer camps, and various events and festivals that keep the arts alive in the region. Events like the Derby Day and Casino Night are crucial to funding PAL's commitment to enhancing the quality of life in the region through the arts. Since the inception of the Eagle Scout Award in 1912, only 2.01% of eligible Boy Scouts have earned Scouting's highest honor. In recent years, only 6% of active Scouts have obtained this prestigious level. On Tuesday, May 10th, Colonial Heights recognized this rare achievement as the City Council honored Tucker Reed Booth.
What does it mean to folks, maybe young men that are looking at doing this, what does it mean to become an Eagle Scout?
It's a very big honor. Not a lot of people are getting Eagle Scouts anymore, so the number's dwindling down and down. I'm very grateful that I'm able to get it and happy.
We'll be back with sports.
BSV keeps it 100% committed to you. You have questions, we have answers. Just give us a call. BSV. We're 100% for you, 100% of the time. Call or visit bsvnet.com today.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. Ice cream, candy, foot-long hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
Welcome back. We now go to Chai Gallahan for the latest in sports.
The East Coast Basketball League's only unbeaten team defended their perfect season on the road Saturday, May 7th. The Cavs faced off against the Fayetteville Panthers in another tough road game. Petersburg continued their perfect season with a 114-105 win over the Panthers. All tied up at 30 after the first quarter, the Panthers managed to push out to a 6-point lead going into the half with a balanced attack, spreading the ball around. But that lead evaporated when the Cavs outscored the Panthers 33-19 in the third. Walter Williams held scoreless in the second, had an 11-point third period on his way to a game-leading 33 points. The third quarter surge gave the Cavaliers an 8-point lead going into the fourth. Bernard Alston went 8 for 9 from the line in the fourth period as part of his 24-point game, helping the Cavs secure the victory and remain unbeaten in the ECBL. Alston and Williams were joined by 3 other Cavaliers in double digits. Tavon Mealy with 17, Elijah Moore with 16, and Tashawn Taylor with 13. The Cavaliers finished the season on the road with a doubleheader weekend as they face the 6-6 Hickory Hoyas on the 21st and a 6-6 Rowan County Bulls on the 22nd.
On Wednesday, May 11th, 3 Petersburg High School seniors announced their commitments to play college ball this coming fall. Basketball point guard Clarence Claiborne Jr., who intends to major in public health, will play for Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. His basketball teammate, Bernard Fuller Jr., will play for Patrick Henry Community College and plans to major in business and technology. And football player Anthony Jefferson, who played multiple defensive and offensive positions during his high school career, is headed to North Carolina Wesleyan, where he will major in sports science. After the 3 athletes signed their letters of intent, they paused to give some advice to fellow students who want to follow in their footsteps.
Continue to work. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do what you want to do. Just continue to work, and it'll happen.
The advice I want to give younger students: to keep working, keep pushing, and love and have fun as you do it.
Some advice I give to my other students, the younger people, anybody under me: block out all the noise. Just work on you, focus on yourself, block out all the noise. Don't let all this stuff around you, like all the craziness going on in the world, all the you can't do this in the Berg, you can't do that in Petersburg High School, don't let none of that affect you. Just play ball, get your grades right, you're going to go to college, no matter what.
Coach, get in here, coach. Get it back.
Chai, how's the weather looking this week?
Thanks, Carolyn Day. The weekend opens with a high chance of showers and likely thunderstorms, highs in the low 70s and lows in the 60s. Saturday follows up with more rain and similar temperatures. It warms up on Sunday with a high of 84 and a low of 63. It's less likely to rain and storm, but the chances are still there. The week opens with Monday looking rainy with a chance for storms, high of 84 and a low of 60. Tuesday ushers in the sun again for the rest of the week. Highs in the upper 70s and lows in the upper 50s. So if you want to make the most of the weekend, be sure to keep your hats, jackets, and umbrellas handy. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
That's all for this week's newscast, but we'll see you next Thursday for the latest local headlines. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks for watching LNN News by the People, for the People.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt.
And I'm Chai Gallahan.
Major media companies have editorialized reporting and called it news. The free press was never designed to be journalistic interpretation of the facts. LNN USA is committed to reporting facts about issues important to you, but the free press is anything but free.
LNN USA exists to serve our fellow citizens. As a locally owned and operated digital news network, we forego the expensive printing presses, costly production plants, and corporate overhead. Your membership dollars are primarily used to pay local reporters to cover local news. Reporters dedicated to investigative news and features that matter. To do that, we need your support.
Become a member, and you'll receive the LNN Insider Weekly Email, a 40-page magazine packed full of news and features you won't find anywhere else. Membership also includes full access to LNN News broadcast archives, LNN Insider magazine archives, extended interview clips not aired in the weekly broadcasts, and more.
Your membership supports local independent reporting free from corporate and political pressure and agendas. Become an LNN member today by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page.